This build is insane for solo survivability. Let me show you it. I'm going to transport all the taken bosses in. Take down the box. This is minus 30 delta. Let me show you this footage. Watch this. We slam, get rid of the sniper. We pop super because we've got it to use because we want to get it back. You can slam while you're in your super unlimited whilst it's up. So we're going to use a Silk Strike here, one of the best supers in the game. Roman supers, that is. We'll use the super. We've got a full room of taken here. So now just pay attention to class ability dodge. Watch. Get weak. Boom. Overshield. Get our dodge back from Festival Flight. Look at the orbs. Look at the orbs. Look at the super regeneration. We've got our super back. We've just used it. We've got a full room of taken. Still 3 bosses alive. With wizards, snipers, etc. So look at this with the sword. We go in with the damage over time. We keep getting our overshield back. We're tanking a full room here. It's a very good test, this, of showing you how to face plant a boss on Hunter, because it's very rare. There's only a few builds in the game that will allow you to solo face plant bosses. That liberty is generally for Titans and Warlocks. Well, not with this. This is incredible. Look at this. Get weak again. Look at this. Look at the orbs. We're surviving. Yeah? By the way, we've got better already on the boots, not recuperation. I think better already is actually better for this rather than recuperation, because I'm not running health stat, which we don't need it for this one. So look, we've got a super again. We've cleared the entire room. You're not telling me, Hunters, that this isn't good. Wipe your tears, Hunters. This is fantastic. It's incredibly powerful to just being able to DPS a boss up front and survive. Now, there's many different pairings, and I'll cover the alternative pairings at the end of the video. There'll be a build breakdown at the end. I'm doing it different. I'm doing my build breakdown at the end of the video rather than at the start for this one, just to switch it up a little bit, because I always do build breakdowns at the start. But look at this. Melted the entire room and survived comfortably on this build. Okay, so next test is going to be a minus 30 solo Battleground core being done on the Hunter Dive Woven Mail build. Watch how aggressive I can play with this build and survive. It's incredibly, incredibly powerful, Hunters. You need to stand up and look at this. This is worthy of your attention. So, Hunters, I'm begging you, please will you try something other than what you already do. Please, because I will be playing a lot of this. Now, watch the breakdown of this gameplay. Right, we go in with a grapple, which you can dive mid-grapple. So we get a suspend there. We get our suspend back. Build breakdown is at the end of the video, like I mentioned. Yeah, and just look at the ability usage here and get my super with Dynamo. Yeah, that's with Dynamo, and that's with all the super regen, etc. There we go, I get my super. I keep getting my overshield, which is refreshable. Yeah, and we keep doing that. The boss has spawned in. We can get grapple million, of course, etc. We can keep applying sever. More on damage resistances later on, because I haven't covered that yet. I'll explain a breakdown of the numbers in a minute, when there's nothing going on. Look at this. An entire room of taken minions, and we're just dealing with them. We're just having fun. I'm going to clear out the entire section. The Battleground core activity is used as a vessel for me to explain this build to you on how powerful it really can be. Face planting bosses, face planting, you know, just incredible amounts of damage, because a speed slacker, right, having a good interaction with damage over time, weapons like Festival Flight, Wither Horde, even Finality's Ogre. There's so many options, it's unlimited. I've got Sleeper on because we need precision damage. We need precision damage for Battleground core because the final boss is a Cyclops. That's why I popped that on. But we could run other things, yeah? And I'll discuss pairings and unique pairings at the end of the video in the build breakdown portion of it. 3 orbs, throw them. There we go. And we're just moving on to the next. It's so a dense Battleground core. It's incredible for build testing. Like, look at this. We get weak. Boom. We've got that button right away. This gameplay is mimicking the survivability what Consecration Titan would have. Tempest Strike Arc Hunter even. Electric Slide Warlock. It's very up in your face CQC style builds. That's what this is. Right? And you can apply this to pretty much anything in the game. You'll be able to do solo damage to dungeon bosses as well. Take Greg in Grasp of Avarice. You'll be able to basically not take any damage from you at all on a build like this. But obviously you would swap a weapon out. You know, you maybe put Legend of Acris on, Lord of Wolves got a nerf, but you could still run that Fourth Horseman. You can do all sorts of things with this. Look at what we're doing here, right? We're tanking so much. I'll cover the damage resistance when, like I say, when things are less frantic right now. So look, we use a super here again. We've got the immense amount of supers we're getting because we're making so many orbs on this build. It's all stacking together with the suspend, with Thread of Wisdom or whatever it's called, with Festival Flight Attrition Orbs demo, right? So we got these overloads. We melt him down. Final VIP. So how this initial room works is just free VIPs, very ad dense, lot of overload champions, a lot of captain knights, a lot of all that sort of stuff going on. Get final orb here, throw that. Let's get to the next ad density wave section. It's just incredible. You need to really pay attention to my ability regen in this. Definitely, you should be paying. Your eye should be entirely on left hand side ability bars, supers. Yeah, my nade, my melee, all of my stuff, and my super, of course. And class ability, I meant to say. So look, overload's in middle there. We've got a super to use. We'll use that, of course. Because we want to use it, and I want to show you me getting it back. VIP is spawning at the back. Look at that suspend. Look at what we've suspended there. We do another suspend. Stun the overload to make sure he's stunned. There we go. We're doing our damage with Year Tide. He's finishable, but we just kill him anyways. Do another dive to survive. Yeah, little grapple here. Mix in a grapple every now and then. Use a threaded spike for sever. We've got smoke jump armor set on for the DR with orb pickup. Just incredible, right? Just what it's doing for us. I'll get rid of these acolytes at the back of the map. That's that section done. Right? All up close, never sitting back ever on this build. Because look at that nade. I've never seen that. I've never seen a nade like that from an AI enemy like that. Essence Bearer. Did you see his nade there? What was that nade he threw? That's rare. That I haven't seen that animation for common. It's not a very common animation. That I guess very rare. Oh, look at this. Look what's happened. Watch this. I felt like I was playing Assassin's Creed in 2008 on my horse, going to the next objective. That's what it felt like, because just watch this. The orb has fell off map, right? And it's got a 2,500 meterage. Look, 2002, 23, 24, 25. What's it doing? Why would it be 2,700 meters away? I felt like I was in 2008, right? Assassin's Creed on a horse, galloping towards my next objective. That's what it felt like there for a minute. What was that? That was weird. Anyways, orbs will respawn, so don't worry about it too much, hunters. Okay. First three encounter sections, top marks. Incredibly powerful in very ad-dense, small rooms. That's what this build's for, right? Like I say, I see many different ways of using this build. It's versatile as well. But yeah, it is incredibly powerful. It really is. Just get rid of this barrier here. I can suspend him and then take care of him with Sleeper. That's what I'll just do here. Nice little suspend. So even though we haven't got barrier on per se, yeah, we can still obviously suspend barriers and then do our damage, etc. Just get rid of some of these ads. Obviously with the artifact as well, with all the Fredlin stuff, you know, pack tactics, all of that's helping out Festival Flight and the build in general as well. So you've got a lot of stuff working together in this run. It's not just one thing. Let's cover damage resistance quickly. Woven Mill is a 45% damage resist. Sever is a 40% outgoing reduced damage for combatants. Smoke Jumper is a 45% damage resist at maximum gains when you pick up an Orb of Power. Right? And we could have added to this a 2-piece iron adapter for an extra 20%, but I don't have the stat distributions on iron adapter armor. I haven't got it on the hunter. I need to farm some. When I feel like it, I will. But imagine on top of everything in this run that I had 2-piece iron adapter on top of smoke because I got Festival Flight on to get the buff. Do you understand how good this would be? 2-piece smoke, 2-piece iron adapter. My God, with all of the Sever, all of the Woven Mail. The only thing it's lacking is Amplified. That's the only thing it's lacking. But is it even lacking that? Not really. I mean, Ascension will provide you that, of course. But you know. But look at this. We do a nice grapple plus dive combo there. This is why I picked this particular background. Just look at how dense it is. The amount of orbs we're making in this run. Let's see if anyone below knows how many orbs I made in this run. I doubt anybody can count how many orbs I made in this run. I would double dare you to count it. And if you've got a number, then let us know. But I highly doubt that you can count it. I've just made too many orbs for you to count. You would struggle to count them. I'm betting that you can't count it. Let's see if anybody's mad enough to count how many orbs I made in this run. I doubt that you will. I'm double doubting that you will. Let's just see. I'm not bothered either way if you count them up, but I know it's a lot. It's enough to not think about. It's enough for me to not count up on the run. Now, this final wave in this room is essentially the Riven phase, which is nice. So I'm going to show you a bit of DI against these Rivens, because Rivens are very threatening in the game. We know how threatening they are. Remember, it's minus 30. Yeah, minus 30. Not everybody can solo minus 30. I'm not saying that this is the pinnacle. Minus 50 is the pinnacle right now in Conquests. I'm just explaining to you that minus 30 is the standard for Ultimate Portal content. And Bungie has told you that. That's what they've told us. I go with what they say. That's what the standard is. That's what they've said. Look at doing these suspends. Riven spawn in. Overload's up as well. Look at what we're tanking. Overload. I think there's Fanatics. Yeah, but look at what we're doing. A Riven teleports behind my back. I've got a super. Don't worry. I feel very tanky. I'm not worried one bit. Because I know that if I get weak, I've got a class ability 2 seconds away or a second away. Because of the Festival Flight damage over time stacking with the slacks. Overload pushes. Get rid of him. Get another overshield. See the playback loop here? This is not us messing around. The higher your skill on Hunter, right, the better that you will be on this. Now, I'm aware there's a lot of Hunter mains that have only made Hunter since D1. Well, you lot who have 10 years experience on a Hunter, I want to see you use this build. You have no excuse. You've only played a Hunter for 10 years. You should be a master of every single thing on the Hunter, and you should master this one. Absolutely, this is incredible, right? It is incredible build. So yeah, Hunter mains, come on. Come on, get your dim links out. Stop messing me about. Get them out. Use it. I don't want no Night Stalker gameplay in 2025. No way, no way. You've had enough. You played Night Stalker in Taken King. You done the Tether strat on Oryx back then. No, you're not allowed it. You got to swap off. I'm not having you just sit on Night Stalker for that amount of time. That's 10 years. No, it's time for you to swap. It's time till you get out that Invis jail. Look at this. We suspend that barrier, so we get rid of him. Final boss is a Cyclops. We are not allowed to super him. There's no way of supering him with a Roman super because there's no turn back zone on his body. This is Garden World for anybody who doesn't know. It's Garden World. That's what this GM is. Overload spawns in, boss wakes up. That's fine. We do our nice damage with Apex. With Yertide. Get rid of the Overload. Right, so this fight's very interesting because it demands map rotation, and that's exactly what I want for my test. So this is perfect. We're going with the Sleeper, the massive damage here. Doing some nice damage here. I didn't realise you actually... we get weak there after the boss. This is no joke. Lads, this is no joke, Battleground Core. Yeah, it's a good test of this. Look, the boss gets us very weak. So look at that. I use my dodge. I'm going to do a bit of heavy damage. I didn't know that you actually get a damage buff in this if you shoot the boxes. You actually get a damage buff, and I didn't know at the time of the run. If I knew that better, I would have saved more ammo, but that's all right. It's still a good test. I'm using a super here. The way this boss fight works is you've got to shoot those boxes to then shoot a diamond to then DPS the boss for maximum damage. Because I'm only doing 3,000. Well, 3,000 damage is a lot. But when we get the box destroyed, I'm doing 9,999 damage. Right? Which very, honestly, I was very happy to run this one. Because look, it's map rotation. There's a death wall chasing you. So look, there's infinite ads, infinite minotaurs. They keep pushing. This is good. We destroy the box. Get an overshield in mid. Make a clone. Destroy the crystal. Boss is subdued. Watch damage. 8,000. 8,000. 9,909. Look at the damage increase on that. So I was like, oh, damn, I didn't realize. I thought the damage would be just the same. I knew that the box paralyzes him, but I didn't realize it was a damage bonus at the time of the run until doing that little phase there. So I should have saved a little bit more heavy on this run, but that's all right. We're still achieving my goal of testing this build on a high in-depth basis. We are not just in the shooting hall. Look at this. Getting pushed. Boom. Class ability goes up. So you can foolproof this build and say, yeah, this is something that you should be using. 100%. This is something. I know there's gifted conviction, but that's not the answer as well. Because there's a lot of gifted conviction hunters that have mained that for too long as well. You've mained gifted conviction far too long. Get it whipped off. You complain you want to play an online MMO, yet you use the same loadout for 12 months. I want an MMO quality D2. Do you? I don't think you do, because you're only using one weapon and one chest plate. No. That's not how it works. In an MMO, if you've played one, you're meant to diversify your loadout and try different things out. That's how it's meant to work, lads. It's not meant to be that you use super glue on a chest plate or a weapon. No. That's just not how it works. I miss my shots. I lose accuracy here because these ads spawn right on top of my head. That's all right. But look at what we're doing here. We're surviving in a arena with a death wall that keeps rotating, and we keep getting pushed by the ads, but we're surviving. That's good. I was not going to break the box there. I was like, yeah, I want to recuperate my ammo. Although I'm going to use, I'm lying to you, I'm going to start using a bit of heavy. I am chunking him anyways. Obviously, heavyweight's on. I've confirmed that heavyweight is on at the end of the video. And I did say that to you, so don't say I didn't. You've been told that. I did explain it to you. But just look at what we're doing here with this. We're just shackling everything. Overshield for everything. Now, I'm looking for ammo. I'm searching for ammo. Yeah? I'm going to do a bit of heavy here. Map rotate a little. Look at this. We get weak by a Minotaur. See? Yeah? This is a very good test. I don't think I could have done... I mean, ideally what I would have liked is a test on Vesper's Host, but I haven't got checkpoint. And D2 checkpoint does not have the Vesper's Host final boss checkpoint. Not that I want one, and don't be giving me one. I'm just explaining to you that I foresee this build being able to survive at Vesper's Host solo DPS. That's how good this is. Because you can keep getting your class ability every 1 second. Well, 2 seconds. Let's say 2 seconds that you can get it. Because by the time you've done DOT with Festival Flight, you've got that class ability back. So you realise how powerful overshields are in this game. Very powerful. Look at that. We finished the boss off with the buff. Look at that test. Incredible. Now for the build breakdown portion of the video so that you understand and accurately with the aspects and fragments. Build breakdown portion of the video discussing aspects, fragments, and unique pairings, other pairings that you can do with this build. Marksman's dodge for lower cooldown, grapple melee, aspects are threaded spectre, and the slam that gives woven mail. You're better off going the clone with this because you're going to make so many dives that you're going to get so many clones to back that up. When you're soloing endgame stuff, having a clone is invaluable in my opinion. Well, a Maelstrom, whilst is attractive, in my opinion, for this one, you're better off running clones because of what the clone tech does, right? Especially with how many dives you're getting there. Fragments, thread of generation for grenade energy, thread of wisdom for more orbs of power on top of everything else, thread of mind for more class ability energy, thread of warding for more woven mail uptime, thread of continuity for an increase for your suspend. And it increases some other things like sever and such, but obviously that goes on. Pairing that with the exotic boots, speed loader slacks. Don't worry about this perk tight fit. The only thing that you need to be concerned with is dealing sustained damage grants class ability energy. And this here, this last sentence, stacks with damage over time stuff, right? It's very incredible with damage over time. So obviously you saw in the clips I ran Festival Flight, but you can use Witherhoard in this, whatever you're doing. You can use Witherhoard with the build. It works with speed loader slacks. You could use Barodiad, but Barodiad's good. But I think Barodiad's not worth it as much because we've got Yurtide. And Yurtide is incredible in the game and it's got a heal clip. So I don't see the point in doing Barodiad when Yurtide exists. Yurtide is exotic power of level. And it's a legendary weapon. Right? So I was like, yeah. If we run Barodiad, then we haven't got Festival Flight on. Now let's have 5 seconds of silence for those players who deleted their Festival Flight attrition orbs. Yeah, I know it's sad. Sad times for them. They listened to the wrong person. Next event, listen to me on the God rolls and I'll tell you and keep you right, so that you don't delete weapons that you can't no longer farm. FOMO. Fear of missing out. And that is still true with the event weapons. Don't be deleting stuff that is very important to the game. And Festival Flight, it's literally one of the best legendary weapons in the game. It literally is. I know there's Mint Retrograde, but on this build, it's better with Festival Flight. For obvious reasons, with the attrition orbs. So, weapons. On that initial clip on Whisper, I ran Festival Flight. I was just using Yurtide, and the special mentions to Ill Omen. Because of its unique role, attrition orbs and cold steel, means you can stun overloads. It means that you can keep getting your supers back, and it's just a very nice pairing. Because of its damage over time, it works with speed loader slacks in a very unique way. Now, this is a craftable sword and you can go and do it. You don't have to run it. You can run the axe Wolfsbane with attrition orbs also. You could run that with attrition orbs for the build. You could do that. I'm just explaining to you other options. So other options that are nice with this build, Finality's Augur will be. Yeah, you can do this sort of situation. Because you're playing up close against bosses and you're face planting bosses, Legend of Accuracy is a good option. Lord of Wolves is a good option. The Fourth Horseman is a good option. Do you see all these pairings that we're going through now? Yeah, it works with a whole array of different things. You want to go more CQC style weapons though, right? But Festival Flight is a special mention for this. Witherhoard does the same thing as Festival Flight, just Witherhoard doesn't make orbs of power, which means you're going to get less survivability. So Witherhoard, whilst does more damage probably than Festival Flight, Festival Flight's just got that extra kick with the attrition orbs on this, meaning that you get your super faster and such. Alright, stat distributions. You want to crank that damn class ability stat really high, probably 180, between 160 to 180. Get your class ability stat really high, right? Get a super stat at 100 because that's the maximum for super energy regen. Yeah, 100 super stat is comfortable in this. And over 100 weapon stat as well. That's my stat recommendations. You really don't need anything else other than that. That class ability stat will allow you to play so aggressive with the overshield. It's just insane, right? Now you can dial into surges and fonts. We are now in a font meta. So basically, any build that you run should have or contain some font in it. So I've got a super font to melee fonts, and you could go weapon font or surge. In this case, I had a surge on for the activity or the test that I did with the -30 Battleground core. I ran a scab on because of for the run. Powerful Attraction's very good with this. I've got a class font there to boost it up. Reaper's nice. All these things, right, very good. Obviously, there'll be a dim link. Now, in the actual run that I did, for the -30 solo test, a full run, which is Battleground core, which is amazing for build testing. We did run a rogue sleeper just because, well, the farm boss is tanky and we wanted to just use that -30 Battleground core as a testing grounds for the build, and I think I done a good job with that. Sleeper's on for DPS against the boss because you cannot super him with Silk Strike. You can't kill that boss with, you need precision damage against Battleground core, the final boss. So we popped on Sleeper for that. Don't worry about it, right? So in terms of what it was, the card is just automatically set. Where is Battleground core at on this damn list? Here it is. So the card that I run, disclaimer, right? There was heavyweight on, yeah, but we was just testing out the build. Don't worry about it. And Extinction Revives was on as well, so we must solo flawlesses. The Battleground core is immensely ad dense, as you just saw, right? But that's the card we did. I captured some good gameplay showing you off this build. I believe that you could probably DPS Vesper's host final boss and survive on this build. That's how incredibly powerful it is with the overshield. It might not look the right way of building it, but it is. In the end, it is. If you're playing mid-game stuff and you only rock like a 100 class ability, you'll die. You need that overshield. To send this build to S+, you need an overshield in this build. And then once you do that, you can really contend with this build as being very powerful in the game. That's the stats and the information. Oh, and finally, artifact mods. What will we run? Shield Crush, Tangled Web, Pack Tactics, Fredlin Proliferation, Energy Acceleration is only for when you've got Mint Retrograde on for that. Tightly Woven for the Woven Mail buff. And that's literally what we ran. That's what was important to the run. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.